Hi, I'm Wayne Ferree, professional stone carver. I served an apprenticeship at the Washington National Cathedral and been working in the field ever since. Today we're going to show the audience how to make a simple bracket for holding up a mantle of a fireplace. The first video is going to be how we achieve this design, and the second video is going to be how we achieve this design. We've got the profile cut, and now we're going to do some decorative designs on it. Went on the internet, it's a great source for the ideas. I think we're going to do something like this on the side and something like this on the front. So there's other designs that we could do. There's a more elaborate design. I think we're going to go simple, something like this. So we'll get started doing the profile, or doing the front of this, and then we'll come around to the side. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is create some pencil lines as a guide. And I think we're going to stop it right in here somewhere. And probably down in here. See, we take several passes to get our chisel up to that line, because we want a nice clean edge here where this pencil line is. What I'd like to do is point out the fact that you don't need a lot of fancy tools. You can do a lot with just a 1/2 inch chisel. This is actually a 3/8 inch chisel. I don't have a half inch with me right now. But you could actually take this chisel and make this whole round shape by just making passes. I'll show you how to do that. See, so you don't need a lot of fancy tools. We're going to use a tool that's going to make this shape faster. This is going to tell us where we want to be, right here. Now, of course, the crest of this is going to be right down the middle. So, be right down the middle of our tool is going to be the middle line. See, so we can take this tool and move it back and forth so we can meet a nice smooth transition in there. And then we can actually come back later with a piece of sandpaper rolled up or a file and finish that out. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we've got a file, and these are readily available. You might even get them at You can get them at Sculpture House, different places, any sort of arts and crafts supply. Probably Dick Blick will have them. They sometimes sell stone tools. They used to even sell soapstone and alabaster, which is a soft stone that is perfect for a novice to get started on. There's a round piece of, it's a little bigger than we want. This is a 3M, let's see what the grit on this is. Well, I'm thinking this is probably like a 40 grit, maybe, which is really good for limestone. And that would be how we finish this off, how we're going to finish this off, just like that. Okay, now in here, it's a little tight, and we've got to make sort of a smooth transition into this point where it stops. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over the top of this crest with the smaller radius tool and make sure that I don't go past this line that we've got denoted here. And we'll just maybe come in by hand and scrape that out. This is where it's important to have a sharp tool. So you can basically, this limestone is soft. It's an excellent building stone. And because it's soft, you don't have to spend a lot of time on it like you would with marble or something. We just want to make this a smooth transition. And then we could come in with our straight tool and just kind of make that basically a 45 bevel in there. And then we'll clean that up a little bit later with some sandpaper. Now this, I found this in the toolbox. This is a file. It's probably a wood rasp, and it's round. So it's a perfect shape for getting in there and smoothing that out and making that transition. And then maybe we'll go over it with a little bit of sandpaper, but this is going to make it easier. If you have a shape tool, it's the same shape as what you're trying to produce in the stone. It really makes everything so much easier. Now again, this is just a piece of probably 40 grit paper. This is 3M. It's probably I think it's from a belt sander. You can pick these up at Lowe's or any place like that. They're made for belt sanders. The bigger the grains of sand that are glued onto this paper is better for limestone. So if you could get a 36 grit, a 40 grit, if you really want to polish something up, 80 grit, 100 grit would be the max on something like limestone. And you can't spend forever on this, so also got to keep in mind that you're only going to be able to go so far. Everybody's got their own limits of time and talent. You know, you can't spend forever on a project either, because it's just everything is time sensitive.